And welcome back to this week's episode of Wildcat Connect Media. It's a very important segment. Today we have with us on set the president of the Belize Cancer Society, Mrs. Kim Simplis Barrow, joining us to talk about Pinktober, right? A very important and crucial conversation. I am your host, Adelaide Sabido, and co-hosting with me today is our HR assistant, Miss Margarita Blanco. All right. So, Pinktober is something that is, I think, very organic this year. It's an initiative from the Cancer Society. But before we get into the heart of the conversation, I'd really like you to share with us a little bit on advocacy and building that awareness. I think the Cancer Society has come a long way over the years in really increasing awareness among Belizeans, explaining to them, educating them on the importance of getting tested and taking care of yourself, right? And that's something that aligns with our Jesuit core values of cura personalis and caring for oneself, the body, the mind, physical attributes, the spiritual journey, everything in one. So talk to us a little bit about
good
that.
Good morning, first of all, and thank you for having me in this welcome seat. Honestly, it's an honor to be here. For us, every opportunity to advocate and educate and inspire our cancer patients is great for us, because that's what we're here for. The Cancer Society has been advocating for many years. We've had our highs, our lows. COVID did a number enough. We're still trying to survive after COVID. But we're here now, and we've been injecting a lot of energy, a lot more, I guess you want to call it innovative and creative ways to get the attention from the public. It really warms my heart to see the reception that we got this year in particular, and it really has worked. I think the awareness as to breast cancer, but not just breast cancer in women, breast cancer in men, and other cancers have been really brought to the forefront of what our mission and advocacy platform is really about.
What are some before we started, we were talking about this year in particular, the excitement and the energy from the public partnering with the Cancer Society. What really has been one of the partnerships or the initiatives maybe for this year or the last couple of years that is a real milestone for the Cancer Society, and one that you and your team is very proud of?
Well, we have the milestone Cancer Walk, which is in May, which is annually in May, and that will remain. We moved it from October to May because of the weather.
Right.
And but for us starting anew, it definitely will be the Pinktober event, where we have the Health Expo Fair, where we have all our partners, where we partner with the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, partner with the Ministry of Health, and other organizations. And one of the things we want to see is a partnership with the Ministry of Education, educating our young people about cancer is a part of learning. You just said the mission of schools is to look at ourselves in a holistic approach, spirit, mind, body, and that is important. And it's important for us to continue our education programs like those, where it's a one-stop shop for everyone. I mean, the Ministry of Health was out there performing ultrasound breast exams. It's not the first step to detecting. The first step is doing a mammogram. Your second step is doing a breast ultrasound. But if you do a breast ultrasound first, and there's something that they see there, they can then guide you. And so that was the wonderful part, not just having the Ministry of Health present, but putting words to action, you know? And we had so many of our exhibitors with different displays of how breast cancer manifests in its different forms, which I thought was so creative. So I think the Pinktober will be one of those milestone events. We do have the we have the Pink Gala, which will be a major fundraiser for us, which is again, I believe, another milestone.
I think in my past I've worked with the Cancer Society in previous employments where we, created things such as a cancer app that's a hub of information. And one of the advantages we have through the work that you and your team, or that the organization as a whole is doing, is allowing for that access to information, and that is crucial, especially as technology evolves, as more work in healthcare is being done to build awareness in general of not just cancer but other illnesses as well. There is something critical, I think, when we really discuss it, is that we're here today, but what about those after us, and them, and the youth, or youth being sensitive to the whole notion of those who are suffering with cancer, and possibly those that may have to deal with it, as you said earlier. What is a way, or what do you see the initiatives are gearing to in helping our youth to understand that and to sensitize the information for them to respond to those with cancer, or to grow and understand that they're not completely free of it. Cancer affects everyone.
It's such an important question, but it's an important conversation. Why is it important? Because it is an uncomfortable conversation to have. You're talking about breasts, you're talking about your cervix, you're talking about your prostate.
Definitely.
We don't want to talk about those things.
Yeah,
we don't
there's
want
still
to be
taboo
at a
subjects.
cocktail party talking about our breasts and our no, we don't want. And there's still a lot of stigma and discrimination surrounding it. There's so many women that I know who don't want anyone else to know that they have breast cancer. And so we still have a lot of work to do, and that work has to happen at our high school level. That those conversations have to happen at the high school level, where we need to educate our girls in knowing their bodies first. You need to know how your body looks. You need to know as you grow how it's growing, how it feels. Those are not conversations we want to have, but we have to have them if we're to save our girls. We need to have those conversations, and there's no shame in it. You need to know your body before you do anything, before you go out there and engage in any kind of sexual debut or anything like that. We have to educate our girls more in terms of knowing what to look for, knowing that this is not normal. If you feel something, you see something, tell your mom, tell someone that you have the confidence with. We also have to look at demographics. A lot of our girls are not growing in a nuclear home, mom and dad, they don't have the trust, they have their grandmothers. There's a number of issues surrounding that. And so I always say, if you feel something, you see something, speak to someone that you trust, and that someone cannot be your classmate.
Definitely,
Because you need to find someone who can take action, who can say, let's go to the hospital.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Can you tell me, what are some myths or misconceptions regarding cancer? That still needs to be addressed in our society.
We were in Punta Gorda recently. The cultural aspect. of our women down south, especially. It's a whole different frame of mind. It's a different mindset, and we have to be sensitive to all different groups, and we have to address stigma and discrimination. It's not a one fit all. So we have to be very careful about how we approach all of the different groups. There's still a lot of stigma, there's still a lot of myths that you're going to die is one. As soon as you get a cancer diagnosis, they feel you're going to die. That's not true.
Okay.
That's not true. Belize, thankfully, we still have the Belize Cancer Center Dangriga, who still offers chemotherapy. A lot of people have been, they were the only option in Belize that did chemotherapy treatment for so many years. Now we have chemotherapy treatment at the Krishna Memorial Hospital. And I know a lot of people have been going and getting their treatments there. I feel like 14 years ago, when I was diagnosed with cancer, we only had the Dangriga Cancer Center. Belize has advanced, not as greatly as I would want it, but we have advanced and we have more access to our neighboring countries. We have access with Merida, we have Chitumal, who is developing their cancer services.
Yes, that's right.
And you have Guatemala. So there's more access. The Belize Cancer Society is working. We're doing fundraisers. And I use the word begging because that's what we're doing. We're begging. We're begging to help people who don't have access to.
It's begging with a purpose, I would
It's
say.
begging with a purpose.
With a purpose.
And it's and we will continue to do what it is that we have to do to help as many people as we can. The financial burden of cancer is huge. I mean, I can tell you just from my experience, my insurance was blown. I don't have insurance right now for cancer. I mean, those are the realities that we have to live for. My chance of getting a reoccurrence happening is high. I don't have insurance. So what happens then? You know? And this is me, and I'm speaking from a privilege, let's say. But how about the people who don't have, who struggle day after day, who are, making $120? I'm talking about those people who live in the rural communities, who have to come from Otosha to PG, which is 3 hours if they're lucky. So we have a lot of work to do. And Belize has a lot of work to do. I mean, we can do our part and we will continue to do our part. But as a country, we have a lot to do.
I'm glad you brought that up for, those that are not on an income to afford the health care that they need. What is the Cancer Society? I know you all do a lot of fundraising to help cancer patients, but what protocol or what procedures are set in place to help those, especially from the rural communities that may not be able to access that on their own?
So most people who get a cancer diagnosis are now they're being diagnosed here in Belize, and so the patient, the doctor, do an assessment of the person, and then they would write letters, and then they would send the person's information to us at the Belize Cancer Society, and they would already send a breakdown of the costs and everything, and then we then have to make a decision how much money we have to contribute to the financial cost. Sometimes we can pay everything. Sometimes we can only afford to pay so much, but we try to contribute in whatever way we possibly can. So that's how it happens. It comes through the doctor recommendation.
Okay. And it's a topic, and I think it's touched so many Belizeans, whether you as an individual have been diagnosed, or whether it's a family member, a loved one, or a friend. We're at a Jesuit Catholic institution, and one of the constant things we hear is, your journey in faith formation, trusting in God, or in that, superior being, and finding God in all things. And when you are blown away and you get the news of a loved one being diagnosed, whether it be stage 3, stage 4, however advanced it is, sometimes it's hard to hold it together and to really understand and say, oh, why is this happening to me? And we ask the question that we commonly hear, why? What support is being given to patients or to their family members that are coping with that
So
cancer diagnosis?
we have the Hope Support Group, and they meet every second Thursday of the month. They have their group chat. I see, because I'm a part of it in there, and they communicate. Every time they have a meeting, they will bring in a nutritionist, or they will bring in a mental health expert, or they will bring in another survivor to tell their story. Every story is unique. Everyone found out in their own way
Their diagnosis.
how they got cancer, or what they felt, or what they saw, or what. Everyone is different. Every breast cancer is different.
It's different.
And so every story is different. So it's important to listen, because you can learn from listening. We know that this is an education institution. Sometimes it's best to remain silent and just listen, because that's how you learn and you know what to look for. So we have the Hope Support Group that really they do a very good job with lending support and guiding other cancer patients, especially new cancer patients, or patients who are still going through their journey, whether it is they're still getting treatments, or they're experiencing some form of depression. That's a huge part of the journey. It's a lived reality for so many of us. Questioning God and why we're here is a part of that journey. But there's something about your foundation, something about that faith that you believe in, and you don't have to be going to the church every day, because church is your presence. You carry church with you, and I always say that to people. I don't have to be in a church every Sunday. I carry church with me in the way how I live my life, how I choose to live my life, in giving, in trying to be as good as a person that I possibly can be. That's how it should be. And so you have to believe deep down that this is the journey that God has set forth for you. And He has a plan for you. Whether He has said, this is it, this is how you're going to leave this earth, or whether it is, I will use you as a channel, as an instrument to inspire, because your people need it. I don't know. I want to believe that. I want to believe that there's a reason why I was diagnosed with cancer 14 years ago. I was young, I was in the best state of my health, I believe. And that's one of the next things that I want to touch base on. And I want to see a Belize that is a little bit more active. We need to educate our people in terms of eating healthy and the consequences of not eating healthy. Drinking Coca-Cola is not good. On a daily basis is not good. But I say this because we need to have a well-balanced diet. We need to learn how to eat in a way that is healthy for us. We need to see people walking more. you can't afford a gym membership. Well, we have open spaces that you can
Yeah.
go to.
That is
you
true.
can walk every day. You can. It is important. I would love to see more people walking outdoors. You know, you go to other countries and it's so cold, and you see people jogging and walking, and you know, and it's so inspiring because it's freezing, and I mean, I can't do that.
You know, and that's not stopping them.
That's not stopping
Yes.
them. So what's stopping you? So I think one of the things that we will be promoting and partnering with, like with the council, they do these fun walks, and we want to partner more with like.
And welcome back to this week's episode of Wildcat Connect Media. It's a very important segment. Today we have, and I think it's a good way to pull in our youth who are very much instrumental and very active in the sports, in the marathons, because they are our future. And they're the ones that I think this wealth of information is being passed to.
Absolutely,
Right.
absolutely.
So we will take a short break, and when we return, we will continue the conversation of this Pinktober, and we will be right back.
I fought because my children needed me.
In life, we always face challenges, but it's always to remind us that we are unbreakable when we don't give up because God is on our side.
Even through my journey with breast cancer, I hold on to hope. Hope reminds me that I am more than what I face and that brighter days are always ahead.
Sisterhood can transform a breast cancer journey into a shared path of love, support, and empowerment, reminding us that we're never alone.
I'm fighting to stay alive while cherishing each new day.
I didn't do it alone.
This is a sisterhood. You don't have to do it alone. Our words are our power.
We're back to continue the conversation on Pinktober, and I'm going to give the floor over to Miss Maggie, who will talk to us about the initiative, about how SJC joined in the celebration of the awareness campaign this Pinktober.
Thank you so much, Ms. Adelaide. So the story of how our SJC Pink Day initiative came to be truly grew from our leadership, you know. Our president, Dr. Peralta, was the one who brought the idea to the HR department, you know. She saw this need for us to bring this awareness, to come together as a college, to bring awareness to breast cancer, you know. So it was quite the experience to see how, you know, different departments and divisions came together to make this possible. Right. For example, like we had our finance office, you know, they assisted by us like collecting the funds, you know. We had our marketing department, you know, they helped us create the flyer that we shared with our faculty and staff. And, you know, they also were the ones who were on the ground on the day of Pink Day taking pictures, you know, so like everyone played a role, you know, like I was the person tasked to get in communication with the heads of divisions, and the support was immediate. You know, you saw that quickly, whereby, you know, I would want to take a moment to thank, you know, the headmaster for the high school, you know, Dr. Fidel Paul, the dean for the junior college, and university, Dr. Alvarado, and then the assistant dean for the university, Dr. Alexia Paul, you know, because without them reaching out to the faculty and the student body, this wouldn't be possible, you know. So, you know, here at SJC, we are men and women for others, with and
Born with others.
Yes, sorry. And then, you know, we take initiatives, you know, we take actions, and we want to share awareness. And it's not only about breast cancer, you know, because then when October is over, the month is gone. But then, you know, we are unfortunately exposed to different types of awareness, different types of cancer that can affect, you know, our family or a loved one or someone that we know, you know. So it was really a great experience to see how all that came, you know, to be. And, you know, next thing you know, we're probably just influencing a colleague, a classmate, a family member, or even one of our viewers, you know, to take that life-changing step to get examined.
Well, we're of course, we at the Belize Cancer Society are very thankful for the donation, and I know it's never easy. There's so many competing priorities in terms of fundraising, and we're very grateful that SJC, JC, and SJC came together to create awareness and made the donation possible. I always say every little bit counts, and so believe me, your funds will go to great cause to helping our cancer patients get the services that they need to survive and hopefully to also thrive. Yes.
So we do have some good news coming out, coming to Belize actually. We have recently, we've seen on the news our Speaker of the House, you know, completing her cancer treatment and ringing that bell, a milestone accomplishment in her journey. We have other public figures such as Dr. Cecilio Eck as well, who has been journeying for some time now with his recovery. What final words do you have to share with our viewers, with our students, our parents, and alone, in addition to all the awareness campaigns that have been ongoing?
We are of course so inspired by all our cancer patients and their journeys, and we see Miss Val returning home having completed her treatment. So very proud of her and, you know, her resilience, and we see also Dr. Eck, who has been a source of inspiration for so many, especially for his young babies, and we hold on to moments of hope. We hold on to moments of hope, and we hold on to the moment when we can see a Belize that is cancer-free. We can only pray that someday Belize will be able to provide all the services that a cancer patient would need, so that we don't have to travel abroad in some cases to get chemotherapy, or right now we don't have a radiation in Belize, so we have to go for the completion of treatment. We have to travel abroad, whether that's in Chetumal, whether it's in Merida, whether it's in Guatemala, whether it's in the States. So we have to go, and so we are hoping for that day, and we continue to advocate for a comprehensive cancer plan in Belize. Absolutely.
So to our viewers watching, and to those who have a loved one or have lost a loved one to cancer, you know, the support system is there for those who would like to help the Cancer Society and their various initiatives. You can contact the Belize Cancer Society and join on board with Ms. Kim to make the opportunities available for those with cancer in Belize. We're going to go into a little surprise that we have from Ms. Kim. I think she knows we have a small donation for her, but not how much. But we had our own Pink Day, as Ms. Margarita explained, and we were able to fundraise in one day $1,300 that is being handed over today to Ms. Kim to take back to the Belize Cancer Society. And so we invite our headmaster, Dr. Fidel Paul, our Associate Dean of the University, Dr. Alexia Paul, and we also invite our Dean, Dr. Solangel Alvarado, to join us to do that handover. Until next week, have a great weekend and a great week, and we'll see you next week.